Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today about is Kandi in the Game. Kandi in the Game season finale happened this past Sunday on Mother's Day, and it was a really good episode. It started off with Phillip having a meeting with the staff, telling the staff that they had gave Chandrika a promotion, and she was going to be the head maitre d, and she was going to be all over the she was going to be training new hostesses and stuff like that. And everybody in the meeting was kind of surprised. Even that Marie girl, she was real surprised. And so it went to confessional with Melvin. And Melvin said, "What's the big deal? What's the big deal about her being a maitre d' or whatever? That just means she's still gonna be a hostess. She's still gonna be a hostess. She just training people." And so I kind of agree with Patrick, but I think they did give her that promotion because she had been there longer, and she was able to train people and stuff. And they felt that at least Phillip did. He felt that Chandrika was a good worker, and that she knows how to handle the tough situations when employees call off, and that's a good thing when you have an employee like that. And stuff. She might have made a few mistakes in the beginning, but I think Chandrika is really a good person and a really good employee. And then it switched to the next scene where Torin was getting ready to do the event, and he was getting everything set up, and so he had talked to this guy named Victor, because he said Victor used to work for OLG, and Victor also knows how to dance and sing, so he was going to be part of the entertainment part, even though he used to be a creative director for what you call. And he told Victor told Torin he would be glad to help out. And then while they were talking, this young rapper came in named Peppermint, and she auditioned for Victor and Torin, and they said she did a good job. And then they had another girl come in to also do rapping, and Torin and Victor liked him. And then while they were talking, Patrick asked Torin, could he help him? Could he come and help him out with something? And Torin said what it is, and he said, "Well, can I talk to Torin by itself?" And then so Victor left, and then Torin said, "What did you need me to help with?" He said, "I need you to help me to propose to Safair." And Torin said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" Patrick said, "Yeah, Safair is the love of my life. She this and that, she that and that." And then Patrick said, to Torin say, "Okay, Patrick, okay, well, you say you sure." And then in his confessional, Torin said, "I sure hope this go well for Patrick, but I ain't so sure. But if you want me to help him, I'll help him." I don't blame Torin. I think Torin, along with Chandrika and all the rest of the staff and some of the other people in Kandi's family, I think they still have concerns about Safair's faithfulness to Patrick, and then their concerns are very valid because the way she came off at first. But I know she's trying to warm up a little bit. But yeah, you still got to watch her you still got to watch Safair with a cool eye. You still got to kind of watch and see what she's gonna do, because she's one of those people that's a little bit unpredictable. I mean, she looks like one way, but then she seems like she's another way. But anyway, it went to the next scene. Where Rashadro and Brian was at Brian's apartment, and then Torin came by and stopped by, And then Torin asked Brian, did he have anything to drink? And Brian told him he got a whole bottle of wine in the closet. And then Torin said, give me a glass of wine. Torin told Rashadro to get Torin the wine. And then in the confessional, they talking about, yeah, Rashadro is just a handyman. He'll get the wine, he'll get the food, he'll serve this, he'll serve that, and stuff like that. And so what happened, Rashadro asked Torin, he said, Torin, you gonna invite everybody to the Friday Night Live event party? He said, yeah, everybody's supposed to be coming, And he said, why? I sure hope Safair come. He said, well, I'm inviting everybody. Safair is just a beautiful, pretty woman. I like pretty women. And then Torin told Rashad, have you ever been with a woman? He said, yeah, I've been with a woman before. And then he asked Brian, he said, Brian, have you been with a woman? Brian said, well, I could kind of say that I've been with a woman before, but it wasn't like we were friends and stuff like that. It was just like a one-night stand. We were friends. I wasn't gonna say exactly what he said on the show, but to me, that's what I gathered from it. Where it was just a one-night stand. Cause when he talking about they was just friends and stuff like that, that was just a one-night stand that he had with that woman. And then after that, it switched to the next scene, where Kandi and Don Juan and Todd were waiting for Phillip to come to Kandi's house because they were going to discuss Phillip's working situation. And so while they were talking, Phillip walked in and they asked Phillip that it's up to him if he still wants to stay with Old Lady Gang. But they had if he still want to stay with Old Lady Gang, he was just hired as a contractor to help them with their house. And so he said, okay, I guess I'll stay. That's what I was wondering, because he asked Kandi, well, you had a look on your face. Kandi said, well, I was wondering about, was you going to stay or was you going to go? He told Kandi, yeah, they were going to stay. You already know why you're going to stay. Phillip looked at, he said in his confessional that he looked at that he could leave Kandi in a minute time because he was under contract. We all know he's not leaving because he looked at that big old Bravo check that he was getting, and Kandi and them was getting them a promotion for their little businesses and stuff. So he looked at that was going to be a win-win for him. But anyway, it got back to that, and then Phillip was saying that what about the situation with Don Juan? I mean, what about the situation with Dominique and Brandon? And then Phillip said, well, he think Dominique should be fired, but not Brandon. And then Don Juan spoke up and said, "No, I think Rashadro should be fired." And then Kandi said, "What, Rashadro? What did Rashadro do?" He said, "Rashadro been drinking on the job." And he said, "Drinking on the job." He said, "Not only drinking on the job, he said some other stuff that he had to do." And Kandi said, "No, we can't put up with that. We can't put up with that." And then in the confessional, Torin said, well, yeah, I guess Rashadro is gonna have to go. He said because he sure can't be drinking on the job and stuff like that. And Kandi really wants to keep Dominique, but Todd was saying in the confessional that Dominique wants to do other things. At least Brandon wants to be a manager and make a career, and he could do that at OLG. And then it switched to to the next scene where let me get some water right quick. The next scene is Torin texting Don Juan, asking Don Juan for some help, and Don Juan told him no because Don Juan told him no because he could went and bought his own crabs from the store. And so the next scene was when Patrick took his mom to the flower shop, and the lady in the flower shop asked could she help him. He said yeah, he had ordered some flowers. And so the woman said she was going to go and get his order ready from him. And so while she was doing that, Patrick told his mom they could go outside. And he told his mom what was going on, why was she crying and stuff like that. And she was saying that she wasn't used to sharing her son with another woman, and Patrick assured his mom that that she's gonna be she's always gonna be the number one woman in his life. And then they started showing flashbacks of when Patrick was a little boy and as he was growing up, how his mama raised him as a single mother, and she did a good job. And Patrick said he would always love his mother. I'm glad that they're showing the relationship between Patrick and his mother, and Patrick and his mother has a good loving relationship. That is a real nice thing to see on a show. And then the scene flip, and then the scene switch, to where Torin was talking to the staff, and letting everybody know how the setup was going to be and stuff. And as Brian was getting ready, he pulled Brian to the side and told Brian, how he was going to be. He was gonna come from up the stairs, and he was gonna introduce himself, and then he was gonna come down. And so that was a good little scene right there, where he was when they were showing how he was working to get the thing set up and stuff like that. And then after that, it switched to everybody getting ready to go to the party and stuff like that. And then everybody started coming to the party, started arriving. Mama Joyce came with an afro wig. Don Juan had on like a purple shirt with an afro wig. Even Phillip came and stuff like that. And then Todd and Kandi arrived, and Kandi had on a white dress. Todd had on that red and white suit with that red and white hat. And then he gonna show the shoes that he had on, and the shoes that he had on had some kind of fishbowl heels on them, and everybody was laughing at him, talking, "Ooh, Todd gonna be doing real good." And then Chandrika came, and then Don Juan was saying, Don Juan was saying that when he saw Dominique, she had like the Donna Summer look. And then Chandrika came in, and then her and what you call Chandrika and June came in, and people got to saying, "Yeah, wait a minute, June trying to outdress Todd." They said, "Oh yeah," and they said, "Let's take a picture." So it was a picture of June, Todd, and I think Don Juan, and they all had the best suits on and stuff, and everybody was talking. And so Phillip told Don Juan, put Don Juan to the side, and told Don Juan, it seems like Torin was running all over the place. Everything wasn't right. He said, "You know what? Torin could have asked for help. He could have asked me for help." He said, "Let's call Torin over there." So he called Torin over there, and Torin and Don Juan said, "Torin, why come you didn't ask for help? You could have asked for help." And Torin said, "Don Juan, I did ask for help." Don Juan said, "I'm making too much money to be going to the store to get you some crabs. I thought you had everything to get you supposed to have everything." He said, "Man, I did." And so what happened? He said, "I ain't got time to be arguing with you." And then Don Juan said, "Yeah, you got other stuff. You got more important stuff to get. You got more important stuff to be doing." So Torin walked off and left. And then Phillip said, "Come back here, come back here." And so that's because in a scene before that, Brandon had assured Torin that they were going to have one or two runners, but they didn't have no runners, so he had to get some of the servers out of the restaurant and stuff like that. And so the rapper sung a little bit, and then it switched to the scene where Brian came downstairs, and he was talking to the crowd. He was hyping up the crowd. He got everybody, and then Brian came around and asked his friends how was his eggs rolls selling, and they said they were selling pretty good. And then so Brian went over there because he heard Kandi and Todd and Don Juan talking, and he said, "What's going on over here?" He said, "Yeah, we just talking about how good the event being and it's coming out and all this kind of stuff." He said, "Oh, okay." And then right after that, that's when they got to talking, and they asked Rashadro to come over there. It was Don Juan said, "Rashadro, we want to talk to you." Came out of Rashadro. They said, "Rashadro, we want to talk about what happened the other night." He said, "I thought we was here to have a party to talk about what happened the other night. I didn't do nothing." And then so Kandi and Todd was there. He said, "What? You say you didn't do nothing?" He said, "Me and Phillip talked about how you been drinking on the job." He said, "Well, I was off of work, and I get out of work at 8 o'clock, and the supervisor and a supervisor has to clock me out, and so I just got a drink. He said, yeah, you wasn't getting charged for the drink until we found out it was liquor, and then we had to charge you for the drink later. And then Don Juan said, come here, Chandrika, I want to talk to you. And then Chandrika came over there, and then he said, Chandrika, who should be fired for offense? What is a fire? He said, what is a fireable offense? She said, well, he said, we was talking about Rashadro drinking on the job. Was that all he doing? She said, well, now somebody paid Rashadro to get him a table instead of flashing the barcode and waiting outside till the table is ready. And she said, Rashadro, I would fire a family member for that. She said, it's bad enough you drinking, but then you making us lose money by putting somebody else ahead of somebody else and stuff. Say, I don't play that. And then Todd said, Rashadro, just own up to what you say. If you own up to what you say, can't say, I ain't got time for this. This supposed to be a party. And then that's when she said, well, normally she don't get into hiring and firing people. She let Don Juan and Phillip and all them do that. And so Phillip said, well, Rashadro, you could be fired. And Rashadro said, you firing me, and then they fired Rashadro. And then next thing you know, that's when Torin told Patrick he wanted to talk to him about something. And then Patrick ran to the back of the office to change clothes, and Don Juan went back there to see what Patrick was doing. He said, I didn't know you was in here. It was a surprise. He said, yeah, I came back here to change in my suit. I'm gonna ask. He said, I know you're not finna do what I think you're finna do, Patrick. Patrick said, yeah, I'm finna propose to Safair. He said, man, okay, good luck. And then so they all came out the office, and Patrick had on that nice black tuxedo. He was on the side, and then they had this other, I guess it was a hype man. He came on and talked about if you love R&B and if you love Friday Night Vibes, and then he played some kind of song, and Patrick tried to sing but he couldn't make a tune, and then he got up on stage and said it wasn't gonna be in the singing, it was gonna be like a poem or a poetry, and he said how much he confessed his love to Safair. She had her head down, kind of looking sad and stuff, and Kandi and everybody was surprised, so he asked her, will she marry him and stuff, and she kind of hesitated and looked around, and he said, Safair, turn around. And then she finally said, what are you going to say? She finally hesitated, kept on hesitating. He said, what did you say? She said, so smile, yes. He said, say it again, yes. And I'm looking at, girl, you should have said, well, if you really want that man, you should have said yes right then. Well, you didn't have to keep on poking you to say yes. She said it so low at first that I had to kind of rewind my DVR. And that's, I think that's why Melvin and some of the people in Kandi family looking kind of skeptical and still kind of watching Safair because of her actions and stuff. But all in all, it was a good season finale for Real House, for Kandi in the game. Now I think they watch what happens live thing was their reunion, because everybody kept playing about reunion, and so I think that's what it was. I think they watched what happened live was their reunion, because at the end of the show they had all these video conferences where Brian said that his sobriety is doing well. Also, Chandrika said her and June bought a new house. Dominique said she's still working at old lady gang. I'm working at old lady gang, but they want her to hurry up and move over to Blaze. And so she said the one thing she would tell a person: don't have a relationship with your boss. You should have known they're coming in the door, Dominique. But anyway, Patrick claimed him and Safair bought them a house too, and stuff like that. And then Phillip. Torin said the business is doing real good, and Kandi hired him to keep on doing the Friday Night Lights. And then Phillip said that he's still working with Kandi. He's still working with Kandi in the gang, and he's glad that Kandi did give him an option of whether to work with them or do whatever he want to do, and that's what he like. So this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. I am out. If they have any ratings, I'll put that at the end of the video.